the wave. We're good to start.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Monday, October 16th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. This is the Main Street Advisory Board regular meeting, open to the public, held at City Council Chambers on 100 South Monroe Street, Eagle Pass, Texas 78852. First, we're going to establish the quorum. Today present is myself, Chairperson Elisha Reyes, Brenda Bereres, and Margel Lopez. Citizens communications?
None submitted.
None submitted. First item is the oath of office and new appointed members. From what I understand, we did it just before we started today.
Yes, both Ms. Brenda and Marshall have already been appointed.
Awesome. The next item would be a selection of a chairperson and selection of a vice chairperson. So first, selecting a chairperson. Does anybody want to nominate somebody on the board or themselves?
I would like to nominate Eli to be chairman.
For Eli. All in favor? I know him. Okay, great. Thank you. The selection of a vice chairperson. I nominate Marjorie Lopez.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Yes. Awesome.
Next would be the workshop, a discussion and responsibilities for new members.
Awesome. So this is a neat kind of little refresher for all of us new members, current members, previous members, just because the Main Street program also keeps updating, so it's good to always stay aware. So the Main Street program, a lot of people think that we just take care of Main Street and that's what we do. But the Main Street program is actually a nationally recognized program, and Texas has a subcategory of that, the Texas Main Street program. So I wrote a little bit about what the Texas Main Street program is. I'm going to read it from my paper because that's the site we use. So it says, working through transformation strategies and the 4 points under the Main Street approach, local Main Street programs like ourselves rejuvenate commercial downtown districts. Local programs work with property and business owners in designated local Main Street districts to steward best practices related to downtown revitalization and historic preservation. So basically our board, we act as the champions for downtown. Specifically for the downtown businesses, but we do have a lot of residents in our jurisdiction as well. So that's our goal. We not only meet here, but we can also be out there hearing what people are wanting to see in our downtown and actually make positive change for that. So we are the champions for everybody in downtown. We get to enact that change. That's awesome. So I wanted to highlight the 4-point approach. So the first one is organization. That one is partnerships are essential for successful preservation-based downtown revitalization. Through a solid Main Street structure, many groups that share an interest in the health of downtown come together to work toward an agreed-upon vision for downtown and thus the community. So this comes from community organizations. So ourselves would be one of them. We have organizations like the Chamber. We have organizations like local businesses that are assisting in, revitalizing downtown, creating parks, creating safe spaces. So we have to work with those other organizations quite frequently. So it's with those relationships that we can help, our downtown and create that progress. The next 4-point approach is promotion. The aspect of the approach is utilized to market a unified quality image of the business district as the center of activities, goods, and services. So we do host a lot of downtown events. We do have our art and culture center down there. We like to promote the arts a lot. We like to promote culture a lot. Anything that we can to bring our community downtown through our events. Things like that, promoting, Christmas time we had window decorating competition that wasn't necessarily an event, but it drew a lot of people to visit these businesses. So anything that we can think of, if you guys ever have any ideas or want to, help me initiate any kind of promotional thing, by all means, I'm here for it. Let's do it. So that is where the promotion comes in. The next one, design. Capitalizing on the downtown's unique physical assets and heritage, design activities such as building rehabilitations, utilization of preservation-based tools and ordinances, and effective planning practices help to create an active district and maintain its authenticity. So in this, we do also get to approve things like a certificate of appropriateness, where us as a Main Street Board in the past have approved things like a historic color palette, where we can designate our district to maybe follow the same aesthetic. We get to kind of guide them in the ways, and we do have organizations like the Texas Historic Commission that helps us whenever we have a design request for specific buildings. They were even kind enough this past March to come down and give us a design workshop because we had quite a few projects in mind. So anytime there's anything like that, or if that specific category interests you, we have a lot of resources for that. And then we also have a lot of programs that assist us to get our businesses, our properties to that, like our facade improvement program. So we want to encourage the continued design, the continued restoration of our downtown. We don't want to modernize anything or anything like that. We're wanting to restore the historic aspect of our downtown, but while we're making it the improvements that are necessary, and keeping the design true to our historic downtown. Oh, I put design twice, I think. Okay, and then the last 4-point approach is economic vitality. In this area, a targeted program is developed to identify new market opportunities for the commercial district, find new uses for historic commercial buildings, and stimulate investment in property. So this one is our programs. Our programs that we offer to help, that the city offers to help promote the downtown businesses, right? And then it also mentions we find new uses for historic buildings, similar to the Riskin building. That one was a historic project that is now going to serve as a business incubator for entrepreneurs that are excited to move into downtown and grow. Our offices are going to be in that building, so it's going to be such a neat resource. The Central Plaza Park, that's going to be a really cool project in a cool central space for our downtown. These kind of ideas, these kind of collaborations really improve the vitality of our downtown. So again, if y'all are out there, if y'all are hearing anything that's quite possible, please let us know. We're here for it. So on the last one, I wanted to kind of recap this last year's progress, so please bear with me. So we do report to the Main Street America. And so Eagle Pass Main Street, we are an accredited Main Street program. So based off of our reporting, we were able to continue to be an accredited program. And this gives us several resources through Main Street America that not a lot of other downtowns would have. So in overall, Main Street America shared with all of the Main Street programs in America, right? The reinvestment in local downtown was $6.25 billion. Across the board, 7,657 new businesses, 29,000 new jobs, 10,688 buildings were rehabilitated, and 1.5 million volunteer hours were served. In Eagle Pass in particular, Eagle Pass Main Street saw 12 small businesses open or relocate to our downtown district and hosted several events and block parties attracting over 10,000 visitors to our downtown that supported various downtown retailers and vendors looking to expand. The arts and culture of our community was celebrated with a Viva Eagle Pass mural commissioned by recognized San Antonio muralist Nosotros, as well as through the ongoing programs held at the City of Eagle Pass Art and Culture Center that is in downtown Eagle Pass. Our mission of preservation-based economic development showed triumphant with the purchase of historic properties by both private and public investments that will not only add to the aesthetic of our downtown, but will give our community a unique sense of connection to the past. In 2022, Eagle Pass Main Street tracked a total of $9,348,241 in total combined public and private reinvestment in downtown, but that includes 9 completed facade grant projects, land purchase for a new hotel construction, and various contributions from downtown stakeholders and investors who are not only committed to historic restoration, but the continued growth of economic development in downtown Eagle Pass. So those numbers are amazing, and we can keep that going with the continued support of supporting our downtown businesses, of supporting, of our support as well to those businesses and the kind of programs that we can create to help them in any kind of way. So that's just a little bit about what we're doing, right? What's there black and white, but we can personalize this to our community and how we see the needs for our community can best suit to this program. So that is the end of that, I think. Do you have any questions?
I love that there's tangible numbers that you could see.
That's great about the reporting part. Yeah, it was really neat to see because I report every quarter. So when I saw it all added up, it was like, wow, that's awesome. And then this year, I think we're fortunate enough to see a lot of construction happening, which is really cool to see that it's all in action right now.
I think it's a great time to be in downtown.
It really is.
I know that we've discussed, like you've been going to a couple of these conferences with the state, working with other Main Street programs, and you talked about how we may be able to develop here in Eagle Pass a board that becomes more interactive with the residents and the business owners downtown. I'm not saying that we should do it tomorrow, but if you find a way to help us organize in that kind of way, I'm sure
one of the ideas that I did pick up on that I would love to implement, and I don't know if it has to be a workshop for the next time, or if maybe I can just organize it and give it out to you guys. But a neat one that I did hear of was creating a phone tree, an old school phone tree, where I kind of get a map, designate a couple spaces, 5 spaces, you guys pick a space, and that would be like your hub, right? So that would be the first point of contact for those people. Of course, I would also be a first point of contact if they needed me, right? But that way we can identify all the businesses, exactly who's in those regions, and they know who to contact for questions about programs, for questions about whatever, if they're in trouble of closing and they want to know what we can do to help. That's a really cool one that I saw. So if that sounds like something that would definitely be interesting to you guys, I would love to, help facilitate that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and that just having like them know who you are, I think makes a really big help, and what our purpose is. I think that would really be great.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Awesome.
To practice.
Okay, I definitely will organize that. Awesome. Any other questions before we?
No questions? Is that it? Thank you, Ms.
No,
Rodriguez.
thank you guys.
Next would be minutes. Approval of minutes for April 17, 2023. I kind of read through them. They looked pretty superb.
Okay.
All in favor?
Or you have to set
Or,
the motion.
or is it motion to
Motion
approve?
to approve.
Sounds good.
Second.
1, second. All in favor? 3, done. It's weird with just 3 people.
Yeah.
All right, and next would be new business. Discussion and possible action on facade grant application submitted by Myrna Menchaca for property located at 333 Main Street, Eagle Pass, Texas, 78852.
Yes, so this one, we did take the time to go and request a design assistance from the Texas Historic Commission. So I did include that summary. So it's this building in question, if for local property purposes, it's next to the building known as the Jaleco Building. So there's a picture of it right here. So their intention for this building is to continue to lease the downtown space. So I know on their application it says smoke shops, but I think that was a possible tenant that they had. But they're not trying to make a smoke shop. They're just trying to lease the space, and that was a possible tenant.
For the members, would you mind just briefly explaining what the facade program is?
Yes, I'm sorry, Ms. Brenda, I definitely did kind of explain to you already what it is, but I definitely did. The facade grant program is a program that we created to help the business properties. So our intention for this program is to help restore the facade so the outside of the actual buildings. So like an example for this one, this is a really good example where we did receive designs from the Texas Historic Commission to kind of help us get it to a historic state. Because sometimes a lot of properties, and I got that a couple times today, are nervous to touch historic buildings or to do anything with them because they think it's an automatic, like, no. But we encourage improvements, especially when it comes to taking down those metal facades that aren't historic in any way. And kind of let the exterior shine, right? So we created this program. The max that you can get for this program is $20,000 per project. And so we revised the application. We see the improvements that they want to do, and us as a board can approve to award them this grant. It is a reimbursement grant, so they do have to make the improvements first. They make the improvements, they submit their receipts, and then based off of what we decided to award them, we would write them a check once everything is complete and done. So again, these are one of our 4-point approaches that we get to support the downtown businesses and get to assist them in that way. So this is a building where you can see they had the gray part to it as an example. So with the Texas Historic Commission, they kind of go into depth and find historic pictures of it. So you can see on this page that I'm highlighting, if you can see it on yours, they kind of found a historic picture of it at one point being a cafe. So they took these designs and gave us a couple of options. Of course, they also took into account what the property owners were wanting, because again, their intention was to keep the bottom as a retail space, but they want to create a business at the top in the form of a bar and grill, of a restaurant. So they wanted to kind of make it an open space where you can be sitting by a window and kind of seeing downtown. So this was the first design that the THC created. As you can see, they kept the arcs that we can't see right now, but we're hoping that once you take off that metal, you can see that that's really exposed with a kind of a balcony seating area. And then the second option that the project, the applicants would have is this option, which also suits their interest of just wanting to have like an open space to what it is that they're wanting to do. So they have two really great options, and it's up to them to decide which one it is that they want to do, but they're both appropriate and designed by the Texas Historic Commission, so they would be both great recommendations for them. So in our application, we get to review the construction. Whenever you submit an application, and this is for anybody that is interested and wants to submit application, the processes are, you fill out the application, you let us know your improvements. Any improvements that you want to do, you have to submit 2 quotes. You submit 2 quotes from 2 different contractors that are on a registered list from the city, so that we can see both quotes. We can see that they did their due diligence in trying to seek out, you know, the work for this project, and then we give our recommendations, and we also take into account what the recommendation that they want, but we do take into account all those recommendations. So for this case, they submitted 2 quotes for general contractors overall for the entire project. The first one was submitted by Ambrose, and they listed everything there in detail, what it is that they would be doing. Of course, removal of the canopy that's already falling and deteriorating, the removal of the aluminum. They would be removing and replacing the aluminum doors and windows, removing the metal panel. And they of course created all of these, before I keep going, all of these quotes based off of the design recommendation. The design recommendation came first, and then they seeked these quotes. Installation of sign, repair any damage on the front, exterior walls. So that overall quote was $44,600. And then they provided another quote from M&M Construction. Of course, the exact same details: removal of the windows, installation of the doors and windows, electrical work for sign installation. I am seeing that they did put stucco on the front building, which of course is what we're trying to avoid. So I'm going to see what they meant by that. If they meant something following the design, if not, we can definitely make recommendations
Yes.
on that, because that's what we're trying to avoid. So that is the one thing that I pointed out and saw that I will ask them to clarify, and of course we can give them any kind of recommendation of what it is that we think. So that overall quote was $48,900. So they wanted to go with a quote from Ambrose to complete this job. So with this application, of course, our max that we can award any applicant is $20,000, and of course that would be 50% of what the overall, we can award up to 50% of what the overall cost is. So in this case, they are wanting to go with Ambrose, and for the overall cost being $44,600, it is my recommendation that we award them the full $20,000 for their project.
When you talk about the stucco, do we award with a stipulation that does not happen? Or is it just a dry recommendation?
We can, I would like to specify on that. We can award, I really don't know what you meant by that.
Well, you can revisit it.
Yeah, we can revisit this for sure. We can ask him to clarify what that meant, because I know it was his full intention to go off of these designs, so I don't know if he just meant replacing something that was not right. I don't know. But we can give him any kind of recommendations that we feel fit.
And on the application, it says I'm applying for and will not exceed $10,000 in funding for each building or property. Is that just like something that needs to be updated?
Oh yeah, I believe it is something that has to be updated. I think this was an old application that they had.
Oh, okay, no worries.
I mean, that building hasn't been occupied for a while, and it's one of the bigger buildings downtown. So I make a motion to approve it with the contingency of.
Yeah,
what's
we'll
the stuff going
specify
on.
that for sure. We don't want him
No, it looks
to cover
great.
anything beautiful.
Mhm.
So we have one in favor. Yeah, so we have from 1-4, all in favor to approve? Aye, we have 3.
Perfect. Great. And I'll have an update on what was meant, so we're all on the same page.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, and it's time to adjourn. All in, to adjourn, motion to adjourn, there you go.
Make a motion?
Make a motion, all in favor? All in favor, thank you. It's been a long day.
I know.
They're so great. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Yellow, sir.
Thank you for being here, Landa.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.